You're not lazy, and there's a draft sitting in a tab you haven't opened in 4 days. The reason it is still sitting there has nothing to do with the draft. The reason is perfectionism. And perfectionism is not your high standards. It is your highest form of procrastination. Stay with me. We're going to break down what perfectionism actually is, how to recognize it in real time, and 3 practical ways to get unstuck today. You open the document. You stare at the cursor. You tell yourself you just need another 10 minutes of research, or the right headspace, or a Saturday morning with no interruptions. Then you close your laptop because somehow thinking about starting feels like working on it. And before you know it, 2 weeks have passed. Someone else asks about the timeline. You smile and say, almost there. Inside, you are frozen. I have spent years working with leaders who are some of the smartest, most capable people in their organizations. Middle managers, new directors, individuals running teams and leading the real work. And almost every single one of them has said some version of the same thing. I don't know why. I just can't get started. If you keep running into this pattern and you want a space to actually work through what is underneath it, I have built a tool called Dr. Kara's Virtual Mind. It is trained on my framework for connected leadership, and it talks to you like I would in a coaching session. The link is in the description below, and it's there whenever you need it. So now let's get into what's really happening. Perfectionism and procrastination are not opposites. They're actually the same thing wearing 2 different outfits. Procrastination looks like avoidance. Perfectionism looks like preparation. One gets judged, the other gets praised. But they came from the same root: fear. Fear of being seen as not good enough. Fear of getting it wrong in front of people who expect you to get it right. Fear of finding out that your version in your head is better than the version you can actually deliver. So you wait, you research, you outline, you reorganize your workspace, and you create one more draft of the plan. It feels productive because it looks like effort. If the work is not getting finished, it's not preparation. You create one more draft of the plan and it feels productive because it looks like effort. If the work is not getting finished, it is not preparation. It's avoidance in a nicer outfit. So how do you tell the difference? How do you know when you are actually preparing versus when you're stalling? There's 3 signs. Sign 1. You can describe the perfect version in detail, but you cannot point to one completed part. You can tell me exactly how the presentation should feel, the flow, the tone, the closing line, but nothing is drafted. When the vision is vivid and the output is empty, that's not preparation. Sign 2. You keep adding to the plan instead of executing it. Every time you sit down, you add another bullet, another section, another consideration. The plan keeps growing and growing. The work keeps waiting, and then the scope expands every time you touch it. You're not planning, you're hiding. Sign 3. The deadline is getting closer and the knot in your stomach is getting tighter, but the document is still blank. Real preparation reduces anxiety over time. You feel more ready as you get closer. Perfectionism does the opposite. The closer you get, the worse it feels. Because deep down, you know what is happening. So what do you actually do? 3 moves, none of them are complicated, and all of them are uncomfortable. Move 1, name what it is underneath. Before you open the document again, write down 1 sentence. I am afraid of blank. Afraid of looking dumb, afraid of getting feedback that stings, afraid of finding out this is harder than I thought, afraid of turning in something mediocre after talking about it for 3 weeks. You cannot solve the fear that you can't name, and naming it itself loosens the grip every time. Move 2, define done before you start. Not great, not impressive, done. What is the minimum version that meets the actual requirement? Not the version you pictured, the version that ships. Write on a sticky note. Put it where you can see it. When perfectionism tries to expand the scope, you point to that sticky note and you keep going. Move 3, set a timer for 10 minutes. Write the worst version of the thing. Not a draft, a mess, a brain dump, incomplete sentences, wrong order, placeholder phrases in all caps where you don't know the right words yet. Your only job is to just produce something. Because the gap between nothing and something is the hardest gap to cross. Once you have a rough, you have something to edit. And editing is 1,000 times easier than creating something from a blank page. This is the move that breaks the freeze. Not a better plan, not a cleaner workspace. 10 ugly minutes. If you have been reading the same unfinished email for 3 days, if there's a project that you've been almost starting for weeks, if you know exactly what needs to happen and you still can't make yourself do it, you don't need another productivity system. You need to work through what is underneath the freeze. That is exactly what my virtual mind was built for. You can talk to it the way you would talk to a coach. It will walk you through the stuck space. The link is in the description below and it's free to start. You lead well. Now lead as yourself. I'm Dr. Kara. Connect to yourself first, then elevate and expand for those you lead. Until we connect again.